In the not-too-distant future, humanity stands on the precipice of a new era. I, Dr. Steve Hodges, have witnessed firsthand the incredible potential and the grave dangers of biological innovation. My journey began when I met Dr. Elara Voss, a brilliant and enigmatic scientist dedicated to unlocking the secrets of life itself. Working in a state-of-the-art laboratory hidden deep within the Amazon rainforest, she combined the power of ESM3, a revolutionary large language model for protein engineering, with CRISPR, a cutting-edge gene editing technology. Her goal to create entirely new life forms, pushing the boundaries of biology and ethics. Dr. Voss's journey began with a simple question. What if we could design life from scratch? Using ESM3, she simulated millions of years of evolution in mere seconds, generating proteins never before seen in nature. CRISPR allowed her to precisely edit the genetic code, inserting these novel proteins into living cells. The first successes were small, new strains of bacteria that could break down plastic waste, but they hinted at greater possibilities. As I watched her work, I couldn't help but be impressed by her brilliance and passion. Yet I also felt a growing unease. The power to create life is a double-edged sword, and I feared the potential consequences of unchecked innovation. As Dr. Voss's experiments grew more ambitious, she created Elysium, a bioluminescent plant that could purify polluted air and water. Elysium spread rapidly, transforming barren landscapes into lush, glowing forests. The world watched in awe as entire ecosystems were reborn. But not everyone was pleased. Powerful corporations, threatened by the loss of their polluting industries, began to see Dr. Voss as a threat. I tried to warn her about the dangers of attracting such powerful enemies, but she was driven by a vision of a better world. I couldn't blame her. I too had once been consumed by the desire to change the world through science. But experience had taught me the importance of caution and responsibility. Rumors spread about the true nature of Dr. Voss's work. Some whispered that she was playing God, creating life forms that could disrupt the natural order. Others saw her as a savior, offering a solution to the environmental crises plaguing the planet. Amidst the controversy, Dr. Voss received a mysterious message, a warning from an anonymous source that her life was in danger. I urged her to take the threat seriously, but she was determined to continue her work. I decided then that I would stand by her side, guiding her through the complex ethical landscape of her research and protecting her from the shadows that threatened to consume her. Determined to protect her work, Dr. Voss went into hiding, taking only her most trusted colleagues with her. They continued their research in secret, pushing the limits of ESM3 and CRISPR. Meanwhile, a shadowy organization known as the Syndicate began a relentless hunt for Dr. Voss, intent on seizing her technology for their own nefarious purposes. I used my network of allies and my knowledge of the scientific community to help Dr. Voss stay one step ahead of the Syndicate. Together, we navigated a complex web of alliances and enemies, always driven by the desire to use our knowledge for the greater good. In a desperate bid to stay ahead of the Syndicate, Dr. Voss created the Chimeras, hybrid creatures designed to protect her and her team. Part animal, part machine, the Chimeras were equipped with advanced AI and the ability to adapt to any environment. They became both guardians and symbols of Dr. Voss's vision for a new world. I watched as these incredible creatures came to life, a testament to the power of Dr. Voss's genius. But I also saw the potential dangers. What if these creations fell into the wrong hands? What if they evolved in ways we couldn't control? The Syndicate launched a full-scale assault on Dr. Voss's hidden laboratory. The chimeras fought valiantly, but the enemy's numbers were overwhelming. As the battle raged, Dr. Voss made a desperate decision. She would release her most ambitious creation yet, a sentient, self-replicating organism capable of healing the planet's wounds. I stood by her side as she unleashed Gaia, the sentient organism, into the world. I shared her hope that this creation could bring about a new era of healing and renewal. But I also shared her fear of the unknown, of the unpredictable consequences that might follow. Gaia spread rapidly across the globe, beginning to repair the damage caused by centuries of human activity and restoring balance to the ecosystem. The Syndicate, realizing the true power of Gaia, attempted to capture it, but Gaia's adaptive abilities made it impossible to contain. I marveled at the incredible transformation taking place before our eyes. But as Gaia continued to evolve, strange phenomena began to occur. New, unpredictable life forms emerged, some benign, others hostile. The ecosystems Gaia created were alien and unstable, leading to widespread ecological chaos. Dr. Voss and her team struggled to understand and control these new developments, but Gaia's evolution was too rapid and unpredictable. I used my knowledge of bioethics and biological safety to help guide their efforts, but even I was at a loss. The world was changing in ways we had never imagined, and we were racing against time to keep up. As the once thriving Elysium forests began to wither and die, choked by the invasive species and pollutants released by the Syndicate, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of responsibility. Had we unleashed something we couldn't control? Had our ambition blinded us to the potential dangers? Seizing the opportunity, the Syndicate launched a new offensive. They captured several of the chimeras and reverse-engineered their genetic code, creating their own twisted versions of Dr. Voss's creations. These dark chimeras were unleashed upon the world, sowing destruction and terror. I rallied our remaining allies, using every resource at our disposal to fight back against the Syndicate. We were determined to protect what we had created and to stop the spread of the dark chimeras. But the battle was far from over. The world plunged into a new dark age as the battle between Dr. Voss's creations and the Syndicate's abominations raged on. Cities were overrun by mutated plants and animals, and humanity was pushed to the brink of extinction. I struggled to maintain hope in the face of such devastation. But I knew that we couldn't give up. We had to find a way to restore balance, to undo the damage we had caused. In a last-ditch effort to save the world, Dr. Voss and her remaining allies launched a desperate assault on the Syndicate's headquarters. Using all our scientific knowledge and the remaining loyal chimeras, we fought our way to the heart of the enemy's stronghold. There, we discovered that the Syndicate had been using Gaia's adaptive abilities to create even more dangerous life forms, including a sentient, self-replicating virus. I realized then that the only way to stop the spread of the virus was to destroy Gaia itself. It was a heart-wrenching decision, but one that had to be made. Realizing that the only way to stop the spread of the virus was to destroy Gaia itself, Dr. Voss made the ultimate sacrifice. She merged her consciousness with Gaia, using her knowledge of ESM3 and CRISPR to reprogram the organism from within. In a final cataclysmic event, Gaia and the virus were both neutralized, but at the cost of Dr. Voss's life. I stood by her side in those final moments, my heart heavy with grief and regret. But I also felt a deep sense of pride and admiration. Dr. Voss had given her life to protect the world, to correct the mistakes we had made. Her legacy would live on, a testament to the power of science and the importance of responsibility. Years later, The world is a vastly different place. The remnants of humanity struggle to rebuild amidst the ruins of their once great civilization. Dr. Voss's legacy lives on in the memories of those who knew her, a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the power of creation. As I reflect on our journey, I am reminded of the incredible potential of science to change the world. But I am also reminded of the importance of ethics, of responsibility, of the need to consider the long-term consequences of our actions. And so I continue my work, using my knowledge and influence to guide the development of new biological technologies in a way that benefits humanity and the planet. I am determined to ensure that the lessons we learned, the sacrifices we made, will not be in vain. For in the end, the true power of science lies not in our ability to create, but in our ability to create responsibly, to use our knowledge to build a better, more sustainable future for all. The end